What's up, guys? Got something a little different here for you today. We actually have an interview with my Uncle Joe. It is unedited. We're not, I just want you to see him as he really is. He's going to tell us a story about the 257 Chevy, some other car he owns. Just a kind of really cool thing to kind of get to meet him and kind of see really where his history with the cars came in. Some of you guys may love it. Some of you guys may hate it. Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. And remember, it is unedited. There's some cussing in there, so viewer discretion advised. If you are offended by men working on cars, probably not the right channel for you anyways. So let me know what you think. Again, like and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more of this kind of car history stuff with these interviews.
It's actually comical how it's like.
Yeah, so is the camera on?
Camera's on.
Good, see that? Fuck all of you.
So,
What?
couple questions.
No.
How'd you get into working on the cars?
How's what?
How'd you get into working on cars?
I've been working on cars since I was 8, 9 years old.
So, did you ever have like any training or anything like that, or was it just?
Fuck no. Oh, sorry. No, I didn't.
It's alright. You can say fuck now. It's fine.
Go to hell.
So let's talk about these 257 Chevy wagons. First off,
Why?
you got the purple people eater, the red one. Which one was your favorite?
I had the red one first.
You had the red one first.
Yes. Then we bought the purple people eater. It was just a body with a motor in it. A friend of mine wanted the motor. I wanted the body.
Gotcha. Now, did you build both those motors?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's in it? What's in the red car?
396 out of a 68 Camaro, I think. 375 horsepower. It's probably around 400 now.
Gotcha.
We
And
didn't do a whole lot with it.
the purple car.
Oh, that was a post 427, 435 horsepower. It's probably around 500, 550 horsepower.
I gotcha. Now, on your last car, I see like Asphalt Angels and these other like car shows. We found like do not touch signs with the purple people on it. So did that car go to a lot of shows?
Yeah, 20 years ago. Maybe 30.
So, how did you get into 57 Chevys? Were those your first ones, or have you always liked those cars?
No, friends. My friend, when I was a kid, his older brothers all had 57 Chevys. That's how I started working on 57 Chevys with them. Got them this, got them that. Then I went somewhere else. So I ended up buying a 57 hardtop like 40 years ago, something like that. And then the guy that had that red wagon. So I said, I like that wagon, can't find a Nomad. That's what I wanted. So bought the red wagon, cleaned it all out, put a new motor in it, well, small block motor, gutted the whole thing, had it painted inside and out, had all the interior put in it, put it on the road, drove it everywhere.
Yeah, we got going through your first car. I mean, we have the detail work that was done on that car. I mean, every piece of metal has been painted. You guys have like every one of those cars must have been all the way down to the frame.
Oh, they were.
On the restoration.
Just
correct?
didn't take them off the frame, but pretty much everything else.
I gotcha. So you get these 257 Chevys. You're driving them around. Did you have any other crazy cars that were some of your favorite old cars that you drove around?
Yeah, we had the 56 Imperial with the Bentley grill mounted on the front, with the Hemi in it, cold air, factory air. Had a 47 Hudson pickup truck, the 49 Jeep Overland four-wheel drive, little pickup truck, Ford Banger in it. The 65 Mustang, which you ought to remember because we totaled that together.
My first car accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember the doo-doo brown Mustang. That was beautiful.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah, and I believe I learned how to drive on a Willie's truck Jeep you had here. With
Yeah, it was that Black Willie's truck.
Yeah, that thing was amazing. I remember we could hit a tree about that big and it would just knock it down.
Oh, yeah. But it was in good shape. You know, we didn't mess around with it much doing that stuff. You know, we wanted to keep it nice looking like it was.
Well, and, as time's gone on with these cars, of course, life happens. You can't use them all the time, and, you can't work on them all the time. What's your goal you like to see happen with these cars?
Ah, you take care of them, fix them up, drive the shit out of them.
Yeah. No, don't baby them. Don't make them show cars.
Hey, do whatever you want with them.
Well, I think it's important to take something that you've, as a child, I remember had a major love for, and
Yeah.
and I can't imagine you wanting us to make them show cars. I could figure you want us to do as many burnouts as possible.
Oh yeah, that's the fun. Can't burn out with them, and they ain't a good toy if they ain't got a stick shift in it. That's the
So
only thing I don't like about that Hudson coupe. It's an automatic.
it's an automatic. Well,
Yeah, well, I always wanted one of them, so I got it. Even got the up there Hudson Terraplane
oh yeah.
hubcap for it there behind that sign.
Well, and I was looking around your house, and again, I grew up half the time in this house. I mean, your collection of just different cars and knickknacks and stuff. I mean, you definitely call yourself a car guy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yep, but those days I'm tired.
Well, something you said to me the other day was, we talked about I said Callahan Garage, and you were like, "Well, this is the original Callahan Garage." It actually made sense to me because I was like, "Yeah, this is the original Callahan Garage."
Yeah.
That building that you have out there. That's your garage. You built that yourself, right?
Yeah, like 50 years ago.
Yeah. I mean,
All
it's
broken and wore out.
it's all broken, wore out, but it's still standing there. I mean, it looks exactly the same as it did when I was a kid.
Uh-huh. Yeah, by the way, hold on. I'll be right back. I got to get something now that I think about it. It's in the back of this truck. You'll get a kick out of this. Shit. This is how I am. Now, okay. There we go. Now, this side. Now, now you'll get a kick out of this. How you like that? Pretty neat, huh? The other side looks better.
Welcome your calm enthusiasm, Mr. Callahan.
Yep.
That is great. When did you have that? That had been done years ago.
Actually, I've had it a long time. That was a picture somebody drew for my father.
Your father.
Yeah. That was actually in his place of business.
That's a good question too, actually. So I never got to meet Grandpa. Was he a big car guy?
Yes and no.
I mean, because I know he had that Lincoln that always.
Yeah, the stinking Lincoln. Is that what it's called, Angel? The stink.
Nickname for it.
What is it?
That's a nickname for it.
What is it? Say it.
The
What?
Stinky Lincoln.
Oh, what's a Cadillac?
Crown Black.
What's a Chevrolet?
Nickname for all of them.
Yeah.
But I'm used to hearing all the names. I'm like, okay, let's see
But if you look at them pictures up there, he was into the old Harleys. That thing there's an axle.
Really?
Last patch on this earth from back in the 50s. That one picture with the thing in the middle over there.
That's way before I was developed.
Yeah, way before you were. But anyhow, yeah, somebody drew that for him a long time ago. But he had a 32 Ford, I think, Victoria. He said he always kicked himself in the ass for what he did to that car.
Really?
Yeah. He cut it in half, made a pickup truck out of it. I was with him. He took a saw, cut the whole damn body in half, unbolted the backside of it. We drove to a little tiny garbage junkyard that was in Lake Worth, over where all the baseball fields are over there. He hooked it to a tree. There was some old drunk laying under another tree watching. My father takes off, and the whole back of that thing rips right off. And the old guy, I think he was going to have a heart attack.
Well, it's funny because when I look at all my aunts and uncles and stuff like that, you were definitely the different of all of them. You know, you're into cars, you're stuff like that. None of your other brothers and sisters were really into cars or working on them or stuff like that. And
Right.
it's actually funny because with my brothers and sisters, I'm the only one that's also into working on cars.
Well.
So it's neat to know that our grandfather actually did something with cars because I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out where it came from.
When I was a kid, I remember him changing the tires on that old Ford. He'd sit there, he'd get a flat tire, he'd take it off. He'd actually patch the tires right there, put them back on.
Really, really.
Yeah, actually. Here's an actual tire thing. You pop the tires. See that?
Wow.
I got one even older than that somewhere. But yeah, so that's how they took the tires off back in the 30s. There's shit everywhere. We just got tons of stuff.
So all your mechanic stuff, self-taught. You got, again, because like I said, none of your other siblings were ever into cars that I can see.
No, none of them.
I know some of your kids are into cars and stuff like that, but it's kind of neat because again, not knowing my grandfather, not knowing really anything about him because
Yeah.
he had died before I was born. It's kind of neat to know this car stuff came from somewhere.
Yeah, it did.
I'm completely obsessed with cars.
Yeah, that's good.
You're completely obsessed with cars. So it's got to be something somewhere. And again, you see my dad, I don't think he knows how to drive a car half the time. I mean,
Oh, wait a second. He liked his Volkswagens. He'd take the motors out of a Volkswagen and put them back in by himself.
my father took the
Yeah,
motors out
he
of
liked
Volkswagen.
them Volkswagens.
He has never. I've seen him buy a couple Volkswagens here and there, but he has never ever shown me.
That was before you was around, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, Mary was a baby back in them days. He had two Volkswagens, right? They're basically the same color. Got two tickets the same day within a half hour of each other. The cop looks at it and goes, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Brother goes, why? He says, didn't I just give you a ticket? I had his driver's license, right? I got stopped speeding in his Volkswagen. A half hour later, he got stopped speeding in a Volkswagen. And you know what? 2 tickets in one day, and the cop couldn't figure it out. And Mike goes, what the hell? Did you get a ticket with my car? I said, yeah, why? Because, well, I just got a ticket with the other one. And
So I've heard old stories about you when there used to be police lines, like from city to city, where cops could chase. That you should drive your cars and run from the police for when you were speeding through different cities to get away. Is that a true story?
some of it is.
Want to tell me more about it?
2 of the best ones was a little Chevy 2 I had. I built a 283 for a guy, took his 6-cylinder out, and his mommy wouldn't let him have the car. So I bought the car from him. I fixed it up. We raced it around everywhere, beat the hell out of it. And me and my buddy Jack, we were riding around somewhere, raising a little bit of hell. And the cops saw us. So he took off after us. We were up there across the street from what do you call it place? The Greyhound place where they raced the dogs.
Yeah.
Across the street was a trailer park, this big, huge tree. So we hauled ass, drove around, got parked behind this tree for about a half hour, had a couple beers, waited for them all to leave. And that was that. We drove home, And then, let's see, another time with it was me and I think your uncle. No, it was Jack too, my buddy. Anyhow, we were in Lake Worth. We were driving down and they had the headers uncapped, which they never were capped. So anyhow, we're driving down the road on K Street, and a cop could hear us coming. He was going south, we were going north. I looked at Jack. Jack looks at me and goes, yep, he turned around. Let's go. We got from K Street to 19th Avenue, cut over on, I don't even know what the hell that road was, hauled ass up that road, went up somebody's partway in their front yard on Dartmouth Drive, hauled buggy down to the other end, pulled in the driveway, parked in the back of the house, behind the house, And we were sitting back there drinking a beer, laughing that we got him. We figured he didn't see us because the taillights didn't work on that car. The only time them taillights worked was when we turned. The guy, yeah, couldn't believe it. We're sitting there laughing. Next thing we know, back then they were red lights. Here comes this car. He pulled right up there in the backyard. And we're laughing. And he goes, what the hell do you got under the hood of that thing? You know I'm going to have to give you tickets. Yeah, he gave us tickets for the thing being so damn loud with no mufflers or anything on it. No license plate on it. Whatever. And just generally speeding, trying to get away from them and all the rest of that good ride. He cut down on the speed thing. He said he had a hard time trying to catch me, but he saw the tail light at the other end of the block, and that's all he needed. So we were laughing. He looked under the hood, had this homemade high-rise manifold on it. It actually was the fuel injection system, the manifold off the Corvettes way back when, you know, I think I'm trying to think when they had that thing. In the 50s, I guess. So we blocked off everything and mounted a plate on the top for 4-barrel carburetor, so it made it like that, how like a, you know, tunnel ram type thing. And everything was homemade on that thing, just about. But we had fun with it.
So what was your first car you ever had?
First car I ever had? I had a couple first cars. I had this 56 Chrysler DeSoto. Boy, I'm pissed I ever got rid of that.
That was a great car.
I bought it for $50. And I parked it on the other side of the brick wall because I didn't want my parents to know I had it. Belonged to the neighbor down the road. And he sold it to me for $50. And the other fellow says, get rid of that damn thing. So we drove it to the junkyard. What a fucking asshole I was. Nothing wrong with this car. Drove it there, dumped it, and left. Back then, you just drop your damn cars off wherever. They didn't pay you nothing for them. It went until 8 or 9 months later, Mr. Anderson told me that motor had been completely rebuilt in that car.
Oh, wow.
That damn old Hemi, and it just drove to the junkyard. That was a nice car. Not my kind of car, but it was the only thing I like about them, the Hemis.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I'm surprised that I'm not buying a 57 Chevy with a Hemi in it because you talk about heavy motors so
Nah,
often.
they don't belong in a 57 Chevy. Forget that.
But you got to have a big block, right?
Yeah, gotta have the big boys.
So if you had to pick, what was your favorite car you think you've ever owned?
Yeah, they were all my favorites. The purple car probably, because we had a lot of fun with that.
You had a lot of fun. What's the best story you have that you've done with that car?
Well, let's see. We were driving down the road one day, me, Roger Allison, and a bunch of other people, Mickey Lindsay, I think. And we went up 95 to 45th Street. Roger Allison's got a T-bucket. It's fast, but he kept coming up next to me, goosing it, and bouncing it around some. I looked at my wife back then and I said, if he does that again, I'm leaving him in the dust. He did it again. We were doing about 35, 40 miles an hour. I dropped it down in the second gear and I punched it. I lit them tires up and left them in the fucking dust. By the time he got to, I think it was called the watering hole, I was already drinking my first beer. He pulls in there and he's telling his wife, Joy, he says, I can't believe that car just took off like that on me. And she tells us, says, have you ever looked under the hood of that car? He goes, no. She goes, you see the emblems on the side of that car? Yeah. Well, guess what? That's what's in that car. And the biggest joke was that my car was faster than his if we were rolling. The biggest part of it was we used to joke around, tell him, my bumpers weigh more than your car and it still outruns you. He never liked that.
Well, actually, when it comes to the Pro People Eater, so we've definitely started having some fun with it. We haven't pulled the rear end out yet. But those have to be 411s in the back of that car. Is that what gear ratio you have?
Shit, I don't even know anymore. I know it's probably 410s, 411s. Yeah. You know, but
it's a rocket ship.
So why are you going to take the rear end apart, dumbass?
Well, no, it's we'll cleanup, stuff like that. We
Ain't
do.
nothing to clean in that thing. Ain't more than 20, 30,000 miles on that rear end.
Well, we do. We do a lot of it. We basically, when we're done with that car, we're going to go through every system of it.
Oh,
It's we want to make it so we're not changing the way it looks. We're not changing that. We're not changing the interior. But you're gonna get in that car. We want it to drive the same way it did when you built it.
oh well, it will.
You know, because that is we love driving it. I to me, it's one of my favorite cars to drive. I don't know which one I'm even gonna like better because I'm super excited about the red one too because
Yeah. Well, the red one's real fast. Not fast off the line because it's still got the rear end in it from an automatic transmission. But I'll tell you what, once it's rolling, it's high speed.
oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, I've never had it wound it up all the way, so I don't know.
really,
Well, with that motor in it, I haven't, but with the small blocks that were in it, we did. But it's like when you're rolling, it's good. I like going fast.
I mean, I love going fast too. That was the. It's really hard not to hit 80 or 90 in that purple car in a couple seconds. It's really hard.
It smokes. But you know what? Probably, let's see, one of the other time that was really funny was with the 65 Mustang. That was fast.
Really?
It had a 5.0 motor in it with a 5-speed out of a 86 Mustang, I think. And we made the under the hood look like just a regular old 289 in it, but we put the valve covers, the intake manifold, 4-barrel on it. But you know what? Because we got rid of all the shit that came with them, motors back then, pollution, crap, and everything, it was actually faster than the car it came out of because it didn't have all that crap on it.
Yeah, yeah.
That thing was fast. It was Burnout City again. Yeah, we just stop and punch it just for the hell of it back when there was nothing out there on Okeechobee Road. But one time, probably shouldn't say that because they'll probably come and give me a ticket anyhow after all that time. But I was taking Bobby into town to go to the doctor's. He broke his leg and had to go for a checkup. We were going to Okeechobee Road. And it wasn't too bad, but we were over there by the turnpike and left that light, getting up closer to Haverhill Road. There's a cop behind it, his lights on. Pull over as soon as you get a chance. Da, 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 da. I said, okay. What did I do? You ran it off stoplight back there. I said, okay, I'll pull right over here. He goes back, gets in his car, right? I got between two cars, turned right on Haverhill Road. The car that let me go pulled up. He couldn't get around. I punched it. I got all the way to Wallace Road, and we cut over and went all the way down to back to Jog Road to Lake Worth Road, over to Palm Beach, just to make sure, got over back to West Palm Beach, just north of Okeechobee Road, to the doctor's appointment. It never caught me, but it was one of the things that they had. I'm not sure, but there was a thing, like one of the things on the news about how somebody evaded the cops in a little brown Mustang.
Well, that's actually a good question. How many tickets do you think you've gotten in your 71, 72?
72 years. Let's put it this way. I used to have a scrapbook of tickets. The thing was, when I worked for Florida Industrial Steel, right behind the dog track, it just got to be a thing. They'd come out every couple of weeks on Friday afternoon because they knew when I got paid. Boss paid us in cash, in the envelopes. Here they are. They just say, okay, Joe, time to go. Go down, bail out, go to court for 2 or 3 tickets. I got tickets for all kinds of stupid shit. Parking my motorcycle on the sidewalk on Florida Avenue, I just had tickets from everywhere.
So couldn't know the number because there's just so many tickets. have you ever been in your car or on your motorcycle where you have been pulled over, arrested, taken to jail, and had your car impounded?
Oh, no.
No.
Nah. I've been pretty good with that. There was a time I traded that I had this Camaro. I traded it for that 56 Imperial I was telling you about
Yep.
because I was coming home one day. I was at my buddy's house in town, had a couple beers, and my wife called it. Says, "John's in trouble, your cousin." So I'm got in the car out Southern Boulevard. I'm flying. I wasn't even looking at the speedometer. I was flying. I still had a can of beer. And see a state trooper going east, and I'm going west. And I just punched it. I don't know how he caught up to me, but he did. I pulled in by the graveyard, or whatever you call that place out there. And I took the beer can, I shoved it in the center console and squished it down there, lit up a cigarette and got some gum out. And he goes, you're going kind of fast. I go, yeah, I know, I was in a hurry. He goes, well, do you know how fast you were going? I go, I really wasn't looking. I was just trying to get home. My wife called. My son got in trouble. He's got some problems at school, blah, 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 this and that, all kinds of crap. And he goes, you were going over 120 miles an hour. And I still caught you. I said, well, I'm really sorry, but you know what? A lot of stuff's going on at his school, and he really needs a lot of help, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you know what? That was a pretty good story. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you go. Don't ever do that shit again. I go, yes, sir. I'm on my way home. I got rid of the car the next day. But it was whatever. He could have had the car tell you, he says, anything over like 20 miles an hour speed limit, we can just tow your car. We don't have to have permission or nothing. And you could just go to jail.
You're talking about the early 90s, late 80s. 120 miles is a lot. It's really fast in a car back then.
Oh,
On
yeah,
the street,
it is.
I mean, nowadays you can buy a car that will do 140.
Of course, it was a Z28 Camaro.
But
It was a fast car, too.
so if you could, this is probably a question you probably can't answer. Do you know how many cars you've owned in your life?
Probably about 50.
About 50?
Probably about 50. 59 Impala, 63 Impala, 55 Chevy, a couple 56 Chevys, but I didn't really like them. They were $50 cars.
Yeah.
The Chrysler, the Soda, the Mustang, the Hudson truck. That was a nice little truck.
The C10?
Hudson, oh yeah, that old Chevy pickup truck, yeah. That, and actually there was two Chrysler DeSotos. I traded that Camaro for the one and got the other one for a parts car. It ran too. I had to get rid of that Camaro. It just needed to go. It was a troublemaker. It was just something you see. But let's see, and there's probably various other cars. Plymouth Fury, of course, the 63 Chevy Nova. I traded that for a 64 Impala, and that thing was something else. It was a troublemaker.
Well, it seems like most of your cars were troublemakers, which is what makes
course.
cars great.
Yeah.
And you worked on them all, and was there ever really any cars you bought that you didn't want to modify?
Yeah. Wonder if I still got a picture of it. Yeah. Never modified this. Little Nova wagon.
Oh, wow.
Only thing we wanted, it had 4 doors. I actually was driving that car one day and tried to take a shortcut somewhere over there on a military trail in Okeechobee Road way before all that stuff was there, and there was a great big lot, and it was flooded. I was going to take a shortcut. It was me, my wife, and John when he was a baby, and do you know what? When we were driving around through the one place, it's just a little bit of water, the car starts floating. It was a little too much water.
Let's see if I can get this on camera just because I want to see this
Oh, all right.
picture.
So yeah, we had to push it back out, drain the oil out. We drove for another year and a half.
Yeah, that picture of you looks just like my brother Pat.
Yeah, well, actually, that's John right there on that blanket. Baby. Yep. Let's see something here. I wanted to see what was behind there. Oh yeah, I had this nice little Maverick. I liked that car till the dumb bitch totaled it. Two-door Maverick. Them were pretty neat.
Well, you made me happy by giving me some of the history of our family and the cars, stuff like that. So, do you think we could actually get that '57 Chevy started and driven up on that trailer?
I don't know. I got the battery sitting in the truck. I took the gas tank, that little gas tank I had, and I think we got the gas out back. We can try that. I don't give a shit. Can't hurt nothing.
Well, what's funny is I would argue with that, but you seem to be able to get anything running and driving. So,
Yep. Well, that carburetor's kind of screwed up on it, but I think we can get it to go.
we got you one of the Callahan garage shirts.
Eh,
You'll probably use it as a shop rag, knowing you.
let me see how big it is. Hey, Angel, what do you think?
It's like W size.
How's about that? Callahan Garage, huh?
You're the only Callahan I know, buddy, so do it.
So you'll probably use it as a shop rag. It's fine. But thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, you're all right. That's it, huh? Good. We're done?
We're done.
Let's go start them cars. What do you think? You gonna hang out in here? We're gonna go try to start that red car? Don't, all these people are gone. That's your grandpa right there.
Really?
But he's in the Marines. That's him. He had that motorcycle shipped down south to Panama Zone. I got the original bill of lading for it.
So did he actually? So did they live in Panama, or
No, he's in the Marines.
so? Where did he meet Grandma at?
I guess Panama.
But yeah,
I really don't know what the deal is with that because you know what? I was told she was born in New York. I thought she was born in South America.
we spoke like what 2 or 3 languages.
Yeah, fluent Spanish. Let's see here. Yeah. But if you look really good at these, they're pretty neat. And I got even more. I got pictures. You got to remind me. I got pictures of your grandfather back staying in front of an old garage with the old cars in South Dakota when he was like 19, 20 years old.
So is that where the like? Because I hear about South Dakota stuff, but I don't know much of the history. Is that where Grandfather was actually from?
Yeah,
South
Sioux
Dakota?
Falls, South Dakota.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And do you know how he ended up here in Florida?
I don't think he liked the cold weather.
I just,
I could never figure that one out. But yeah, I think he just decided, you know, he didn't want to be bothered. It's cold up there.
I'm sure
you know?
it is. I'm sure it is.
But that's, you know, when you got out of Marines, that's the original Romero's Bakery in Palm Beach. See the little cakes here? They had a bakery shop. That was the thing there. That's him. And they were the first people to cater to Eastern Airlines,
Really?
putting food on planes.
What's that? Is this him riding in like
Yep.
a little race right there?
Yeah, they had the little shit dirt bike type things, you might say, and they had a little race track over there. I just never did get the whole lot out of that. I just remember that one motorcycle he sold to the guy down the road when I was about 6 years old.
So, yeah, was this? These were just bikes they brought back from the war that they started souping up.
No. He had that. I told you. I've got the original bill of lading.
Oh, so
when
it's-
he was in the Marines in South America, he bought a brand new motorcycle and had it shipped down there
I
besides
gotcha,
the one he already got. They took
I
their shit down there.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it says, Coast to Coast Riders Motorcycle Club. Crossroads of the world.
How many motorcycles have you owned? Because that number's probably unheard of at this point. There's so many.
I don't know. There's not that many. I think I probably own more cars than motorcycles, but then this here, and it broke the glass. This girl here, she's dead now. We found that motorcycle in Ohio. I think it was Ohio, New York. We went to one of them motorcycle things, meets they had. This girl's dead. She went all over the world. She had the wall of death.
Oh yeah, the ring.
The big round, not the round circle thing, the round ring, like an
Yeah.
arena. You know, actually, it was all stored next door for a while in 2 big Airstream trailers. But yeah, All them people are gone. Oh well, whatever. That's the way it goes.
Hopefully we can
Let's get the hell
keep
out
this
of here.
history going.